In this video, I'm gonna walk you step by step through setting up all your overlays in Streamlabs, like your starting soon screen, your countdown timer, your just chatting scene, alerts, everything you need. So by the end of this video, you'll have a professional looking stream that you can feel confident going live with. So let's go ahead and get started here. The first thing is making sure you have Streamlabs Desktop installed. If you don't, I'll leave a link in the description of this video. Once you've gotten it installed, it's going to prompt you to go ahead and select your streaming destination. It's important that you do that. And if you didn't do it, you want to come to the bottom left-hand side, select settings, select stream, and then we want to select the streaming destination. For me, I'm going to go ahead and select Twitch. Now, this is super important because this is how Streamlabs is going to know how to pull the information like who just followed you, who just subscribed, who just donated. So when we set up our alerts, it actually pops up. So it's important that you set this up first. Then you'll select done. Now we need to go ahead and get our overlays. So I'm going to utilize overlays from Designz.com. And again, I'll put a link in the description of this video. So Designz is a website that gives you overlays that are already done for you, professionally made, giving you everything you need to make your stream look professional. So for this example, I'm going to utilize the Project Zero Ultimate Stream Bundle because it gives us everything that we need. So this is an animated package, and you're going to see here that's going to give us our webcam. It's going to give us our panels. It's going to give us our alerts, our countdown timer, our count up timer, our stinger transition. It's even going to give us the animated emotes as well, and all the other overlays that we need. Now, if Project Zero is not the vibe that you're looking for, you can kind of scroll down here and see some other design options as well. And then you can also browse tons of other ones as well to find the right one for you. Now, once you've gone ahead and gotten that downloaded and purchased, we now need to make sure that the Stream Designz files are accessible to us. So when you download a file from Stream Designz, it's going to come in a zip file just like this. If you leave it like this, we won't be able to see it inside of Streamlabs. So it's super important. If you are on a PC, you are going to right click on this file and you will select extract. And that's going to create a folder for you to be able to utilize. If you're on a Mac, you're going to double click and that's going to create a folder for you. You know you've done it right when you have a zip file and then a folder that you can open up and see your alerts, okay? And then you'll see that you did it right when we can access them inside of Streamlabs. So now we have our alerts, count up timer, countdown timer, overlay scene, panel, stinger transition, sub emotes, and webcam overlays. So now we have all of our overlays, okay? Now we can come back here to Streamlabs and begin this process. Now, the first thing that I like to do is to set up all of our scenes. So what are scenes? Scenes are going to be the different kind of transitions that you're going to make. So let's say my one scene is me and just my camera. My second scene is just my countdown timer. So you'll see here that the scenes are what you're going to be switching between when you're streaming. So the first one that we're going to do, you're going to have one that's already predefined. You'll right click on this and we'll go ahead and rename this. We'll name this starting soon, and then you'll hit done. We'll then go ahead and hit the plus icon and we're going to add a new scene. We're going to go countdown timer. And we'll follow this same process to build out all the scenes that we're going to need here today. Then we'll go gameplay. Then we'll add our just chatting here. We're going to have our be right back. Then we're going to add our stream ending. Okay. Now, these are going to be the foundational scenes that you want to have in place and that you're also going to have access to when it comes to your overlays you got from Stream Designz. So now that we have our scenes set up, we now need to start filling them in so that they're no longer black screens. So this is where the files we got from Stream Designz are going to come in handy. So now we'll select the starting soon and we'll come to sources. Okay. So anything we put in sources is going to be just in the starting soon scene. So we'll have to do this for every single scene, but no worries. I'm going to walk you through this step by step. Again, you don't need to be technical. This is going to be pretty straightforward as we go through this. So you'll hit this little plus icon, okay? And you're going to come up to the top where it says media categories. This is going to go ahead and we want to scroll down to where it says media. Now, this is a very important note to note here. If you have an animated package like the one that I'm showing you here with Project Zero and you got a bundle, that is going to be an animated package. If your package is not animated, you are going to utilize image every time that I use media file. Okay. But for the most part, you're most likely going to be using media file if your package is animated. If you're unsure whether you have an animated or non-animated package, simply go ahead and reach out to Designz and they can confirm which one you have. Okay, so now let's go ahead and select media file, add source, and we're going to name this our starting. Okay, and hit add source. We're going to locate our file. So we'll browse, and this is going to take us to the destination where we have that file saved. Okay, so here is our folder. We'll select it. We'll open it up, and all you want to do is select overlay screens. This is going to open up, and you'll see here that we'll have our starting soon, our be right back, our ending soon, and everything that we're going to need. So we're going to select our starting soon. We're going to select open. You're going to see that this popped up here. Now, the very important thing you want to select is you want loop, because you want your starting screen to just keep looping as we kind of go through this, right? And then you want to close file when inactive. So what this means, right? When you start your stream, you're going to use this, but then afterwards you don't need it. So we don't need it to pull any resources on your computer once you move away from this screen. So we'll leave it there, and then we can go ahead and hit close. Now we have our starting soon. Now, what I like to do is once I've gotten everything dialed in and it's exactly where I want it to be, I come here and hit this little lock icon so that it doesn't move. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to come to our countdown timer. We're going to hit this little plus icon again, media categories. We'll select media file, add source. And this is super important. It's going to pre-default to an existing source that you had. Now, this is going to come in handy a little bit later when we do alerts and stuff like that. But for right now, you need to make sure that you come in here and hit add a new source instead, and then we'll name this timer. We'll hit add source, and we'll follow the same exact process here. So we'll come back to our main folder, and you'll see here we'll have our countdown timer or a count up timer based on your preference. So we'll select countdown timer, and we'll hit open. This is now going to bring in our countdown timer. Now, for your timer, you do not want it to loop. What loop means is that once it gets to 0, it's just going to go ahead and restart. But potentially, you'll never come back to the screen again until your very next stream. So I typically leave this off, not on loop. And then the same thing, close file when inactive. So we're going to close this here, and you're going to see here that now we have a nice looking timer. So same thing, we'll come here, we'll lock it because it's all in place and already sized to what we need. And then we'll keep moving here. Okay, so we're going to come to our be right back. We're going to jump around because these are the easiest scenes to go ahead and set up. And it gives you a little bit of momentum, right? Gives you a little bit of progress. You can start to see your stream really come to life. So for the be right back, we're going to hit this little plus icon here. We're going to go to media categories. We'll select media file again, add source. And again, we'll add a new one, and we'll come here and say, be right back. Hit add source. We'll browse again, and we're going to go to our folder. We'll come here to where it says overlay screens, and then we'll look for where it says be right back. So now we have that in place. For the be right back, we do want this to loop because if I need to step away, somebody's at my door or anything like that, I want to make sure this is keep playing, because what happens if you unloop it after the animation stops, it goes to a black screen. Okay, so we'll select that, close file when inactive, and then we'll go ahead and hit close there. And again, it's already sized for how we like it, but if you did want to size it even more, you could. But again, we'll leave it just as is, and then I'll lock it to make sure it doesn't move. That lock feature is going to come in very handy later on when you start to add multiple elements, as you'll see when we move into the gameplay and just chatting scene. So we'll come to the stream ending. We're going to hit this little plus icon again. Media categories, media file, add source, and again, add new source here. And we're going to go ahead and name this ending. Add source. We'll browse that file again, and we're looking for our stream ending. So we'll look here, ending soon, hit open. We do want this to loop. We do want this to close, and then we have this in place, and now we can lock that, right? So now we have our starting soon. We have our countdown timer. We have our gameplay, which is we're going to work on next, or just chatting, but we have our BR back, and then we have our stream ending. Now, the next thing that we want to go ahead and add is going to be our stinger transition. This is going to make it to where when you're switching between scenes, there's a nice animation that happens, and it just adds a little bit of professionalism to the stream. So if we come back here, you're going to come to the section that says here, edit scene transition. So we'll select that there, and you're going to see here that you're going to have a basic one. We're going to select add transition type. We're going to scroll down and select stinger. We'll name this, and we'll name this our package, Project Zero Stinger, and whatever package you got, you can name it that. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to make sure this is going to be balanced really good, because if you don't do it at the right moment, it's not going to look the way that it needs to. But audio monitoring, this is what we want. Okay. We want this off. Fade out, we want cross fade. What this means is that when you're switching between scene to scene, your audio doesn't just cut out. It blends nicely into the next scene. Okay. So here's what we want to see, because the important part is going to be the transition point. Okay. But in order for us to get that, we need to come to browse to find that file. We'll come back to our package here, and you'll see here you have Stinger transition right there. We'll select Stinger transition, hit open. We'll see that that's there, and then we can just leave it as time and transition point. Typically, this is a rule of thumb. You got to kind of mess around with it a little bit, but between 750 to 1100 is kind of the sweet spot. Sometimes you go to 1500, but I'm going to show you what you need to look for to make sure that you do it right. So I always start with 750, and then I hit done. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure that I select this as my stinger and then hit done. Okay, now what you're looking for is that when I switch, that's what I want. Okay. I don't want to see whatever's behind first before the stinger transition happens. So for example, if you switch over and you see the countdown timer first before you even see the stinger transition, that means you need to increase that time from 750 to maybe 800 or 900 or 1000. If it takes too long, then lower it to 500. So again, if it's showing too fast, go higher. If it's not showing enough, go lower. Okay. And again, what I mean by that is coming here to the Project Zero, hitting this little pencil and moving this up and down. Okay. Again, if you're seeing it too soon, increase this. If you're not seeing it soon enough, lower it. Okay. But 750 for the Project Zero looks to be like the sweet spot where I'm not seeing that transition first. So which is good. Okay. So now we have our stinger transition set up. Now we can move into our just chatting scene, because this is going to be the scene that's going to let us build a lot of the things that we're going to need. That's going to help us build out our gameplay scene as well. So for the just chatting, we're going to hit this little plus icon here. We're going to come here, and again, media categories. We'll select media file, add source. We're going to add a new source, and here we're going to just add in chatting. Add source. We'll locate this file, and we'll come back here to our folder, overlay screens, and you'll see here you have just chatting. We'll select that and hit open. Now you can see here that we have a nice just chatting scene. We do want this to loop, because you will be on the scene for more than 10 seconds. And if you unloop it, what happens is that now the animation stops and things just disappear. Okay. So we'll have that there. We'll follow the same thing, close file when inactive, and we'll follow this and hit close. Okay. So now we have this in place. So we'll hit lock. And what this is going to see is that you're going to see here on the top right, this is where you have the option to put either your gameplay, a screen from your PC, or your camera. And then in the middle, this is where you can put your camera or you can put your gameplay. The option is yours. The way that I typically utilize a just chatting scene is that I put my camera in the middle, my gameplay on the top right, my chat here, and then these are what we call stream labels. So stream labels are what you normally see when somebody follows, okay? When somebody subscribes. This is why we connected our streaming platform in the beginning to be able to do this, okay? So now, the first thing that I like to do is let's go ahead and start with the labels, because we'll use labels in our gameplay scene as well. So to be able to do that, we'll click this little plus icon here. And now instead of selecting media categories, you're going to select widgets. We're going to look for stream labels, right? So you'll see here where it says stream labels. We'll click that, add source. And now we are going to have to do this every time you want to add in a different label, but it's totally fine. So the first one that I like to utilize is most recent. So I typically just do recent follow. okay, and hit add source. That way I know what it is. So now what Streamlabs asks you to do, it says label type, and they have an endless amount of options that you can go through and select based on what you want. I'm going to give you the most foundational ones. So what you want to type in here at the top is most recent and then follower. That's going to give you the most recent follower. You'll see that there. The label, which is their name, you don't have to change anything there. The font, leave it as is. This is a very clear font, but you can change this and the style how you like. The sizing, I like to leave it there. You can change the color, but the one thing I will tell you to do is to make sure you hit outline and drop shadow, because that does make that text pop. And then we hit done. You'll see it come up here at the top. We'll simply grab it and drag it down and put it inside of the box here. Now, the beautiful thing about Stream Labels is that they update automatically. So once somebody follows you, it may take a few seconds for it to update, but it'll always be your most recent follower, right? So we'll have that there. And now we'll hit this little plus icon again, come to widget, Stream Labels, add source. And remember, we're not going to use the recent follower again right now. We're going to add a new one. And for this one, we're going to do recent sub, okay? Add source. And again, you can call this whatever you want to call it. And you may have something a little bit different based on the platform that you went ahead and selected. Maybe you selected YouTube, maybe you selected Kick, maybe you selected Twitch, right? Remember, I'm connected to Twitch, so these are going to be the options, but you should have something very similar to what I'm putting in here now. So you'll do most recent sub. Okay, and you can look here, you got most recent sub gifter or most recent subscriber. So I'm gonna select most recent subscriber. We can leave it as is. And then again, outline, drop shadow, and done. And the beautiful thing is that once we set up these particular labels one time, you can use them throughout all of Streamlabs without having to remake them again. So now I have that there, okay? I have recent sub, recent follower. So now let's go ahead and add an additional one here at the end. So we'll hit this little plus icon, widgets, Stream Labels, add source. We'll add a new source instead, and we're going to name this recent cheer. Okay. And again, remember, this can be whatever's related to the platform you're doing. So I'm going to select here most recent, and then I'm going to do cheer. So there's cheer. So we have that there. And again, I'm going to go outline, drop shadow. I'm going to hit done. And then I'm going to grab that and bring that here. And again, remember, you can use these to resize it if you want to and adjust it right where you have it. So now we have our stream labels in place. Okay. So again, remember, once you've done and you're so happy with the placement, get into the habit of locking these elements so that way things don't move, right? So that way it looks like this. All right. So the next thing we want to do is we want to add in our chat. Okay. So to add in our chat, we'll hit this little plus icon here. We're going to go to widgets, hit chat box, add source, and then we can leave this as chat box. And you're going to see here that you're going to have different themes you can go ahead and select. I'm just going to leave it as the Twitch option. You can select whether you want messages to always show or if you want them to disappear. I just leave it as always show because it'll keep just stacking up, but you can go ahead and have it disappear if you like. Then one thing I will go ahead and enable is extra emotes. I'll make sure all of those are checked. And then the other thing is that I will hide characters. So if you don't want your bot to be able to show up on stream, like on the screen, then check that. If you don't want when your mods or your people are doing exclamation mark something, you don't want that to show and you just want a clean chat, I would encourage you to go ahead and double check those there. Okay. And then when you're here, browser setting, this is going to be what's going to allow us to understand what is the right size to fit here. Okay. So this is where it's going to get a little bit of the customization that you'll have to be able to do. So we'll have that in place. We'll hit close. And now here is our chat box. Okay. But you can see here that you can't really size it exactly the way that you need. And the reason why that is because we need to do it directly in the settings. So you'll come to chat box. You'll hit this little gear icon, okay? And we'll scroll down to where it says browser settings. Now, this is where we want to be able to adjust this. And again, most of Stream Designz packages are going to follow the same sizing format for the chatting side, but you can go ahead and adjust this. So I'm just going to put 300 and you can see that it starts to adjust here for me, right? So I can come here and try to adjust this. So I'm like, okay, so 300 is a little bit not enough. So maybe it's 350. So I could say, okay, it's 350. Is it there? But then, okay, let me bring this down some. Maybe it could be a little bit more. So you can come here and just start tweaking this to find the right perfect size for this. Let's say that that's kind of where that's perfect. So 400 to 600 is what worked for me. You can switch that, and again, you can adjust the height, but really what you mainly need to focus on is the width. So just adjust that to your liking. If it's too large, then bring the number down. If it's too thin, then bring the number up. That's all you need to focus on, and then you'll have a focus. Now, you won't be able to preview the chat until you're actually live. So if you do want to see that working, as long as it's there, you make sure that that's working. So we'll have the recent cheer, we'll lock that, and we'll lock our chat box. So now we have our labels and our chat box. Already, you're starting to see, like, you should start feeling proud that you've set this up already in such a short time because of the fact that Stream Design has done the heavy lifting for you. Now, we'll come here back to our just chatting. Now we need to go ahead and add in our gameplay to be able to do that. So there are a few different ways to bring in your gameplay based on how you game. So if you game from a console or you have a gaming PC, you're most likely going to bring in your gameplay from a capture card to be able to utilize this, which is what I'm going to utilize today. However, if you stream and you game on the same computer, you're going to do something a little bit different. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that now. So let me show you. So you'll come here to our just chatting on our sources, which is this little plus icon. Okay. Now you'll come here to media categories. This is super important. Here's what you need to understand. If you're using a capture card to bring in your gameplay, okay, you want to make sure that what we're going to use is video capture. If you are gaming and streaming on the same computer and you want to capture your gaming window, you're going to use window capture. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. Single PC, you're streaming and gaming on it. You'll select window capture. You can go ahead and if you're on Mac or Windows, and then you can select your gameplay right there and you'll be able to go ahead and bring it in. But again, as I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and utilize the window capture because I'm utilizing a capture card. Okay, so we'll hit window capture here, add source. We'll name this game capture. Okay, and I use the HD60X, but again, capture card, it can be anyone that you're utilizing. So I'm going to look at the device and I'm going to look for that game capture HD60X. There's my gameplay. Okay, we can have this here. I'm going to do 1080p, and then we'll hit done. And you see here that my gameplay is now here. So all we want to do is we want to go ahead and resize this. Okay, and place this again. If you want to do it in the middle, you can. I'm going to place it here in the corner. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and resize this. Now, the big thing you want to know, okay, is that when you just leave it like this, you're going to see it doesn't look professional because it's like, hey, this square is not the same shape as the overlay. This is a key important thing you want to understand, okay? Aside from the labels, your chat, and your alerts, everything else you put on your just chatting, like your gameplay and your camera, needs to be under your just chatting overlay. So we'll place this exactly where it needs to be. And then we'll grab our our capture card, drag it under the just chatting scene. And now you see here that it's molded and looks professional and fits directly where we want it to be. So then what do? We're going to lock that in place so that everything stays put. Now we can bring in our camera. So there are a few different options that you have here. So the first option is that you have a camera connected to your computer, and that's going to be the easiest way to bring that in. If you don't have a camera connected to your computer, you can utilize your phone, okay? And you can utilize a tool called VDO.Ninja. Let me show you what that looks like so you can know if you want to bring in your phone. So we'll come back here, and what you want to do is, okay, so you're going to come to a site called VDO.Ninja, and this is if you want to use your phone as a camera. If you don't want to use your phone as a camera, you can just kind of skip past this part right here. So if you do, you'll click here, create reusable invite. This is going to give you and say, you're going to name this and say phone camera. Okay. You're going to say unlock bitrate, use VPN. This is all good here. Okay. And you want to say generate a link. Then on your phone, you're going to scan that QR code, open this on your phone device. Okay. And then the big thing that you're going to want to be able to see is that on your phone, it's going to say share your camera. So you'll click share your camera. It's going to say allow. Okay. And you're going to see here that's going to ask you, what do you want to share, your front camera or your back camera? I encourage you to use your back camera. It's going to give you the best quality. And then for the audio source, if you're going to be using the audio from your phone, you can do that. I'm going to select no audio. I'm going to hit start. Okay. And now we have that in place there. So what we want to do now is back on the screen, you see where it says OBS browser source link. We'll copy this, and it's okay that it says OBS. We can utilize this in Streamlabs. Okay. And we'll hit this little plus icon. Okay. We'll come to here to where it says media category. We'll select browser source, add source, and then we'll name this phone camera. Okay. You hit add source, and then you want to paste that link that we just went ahead and got there. Okay. And then you want to make sure that for here, you do 1920 by 1080. Okay. And then you scroll down, hit OK, and then you can put your phone in horizontal mode, and that's going to go ahead and give you your camera. So here's my camera. Now I can size this up again and place this right in this box with your phone, which is going to give you a good quality. And then again, what do we want to do? We want to grab our phone camera and bring it under our just chatting scene. And now you can see here that we have a professional looking camera. Okay. But if you're not going to go ahead and utilize your phone camera as the option, and you have a camera built into your computer, then you're going to go ahead and hit this little plus icon, media categories, and then you're going to go ahead and select video capture. Add source. We'll hit add new source instead, and we're going to name this camera or webcam. Add source, and then you want to find your webcam or your camera. So I'm just going to go ahead and select my camera here. I'm going to make sure that it's 1080p, and I have that there. You can see here that now I have my camera all set up, ready to go, and I can go ahead and resize this and place this exactly where I want it to be. So let's say I have it here. And again, what do? We drag this and bring this under our just chatting. And now you can see here that we have our scene. We have our gameplay. We have our just chatting. We have our webcam. And then we have our stream labels. So what we need to add now is going to be our alerts. So what I'm going to do for the time being, if you ever want to disable or hide an element, you can come here and click hide and unlock. So I'm just going to leave that there for the time being. Okay. And what we're going to do is add in our alerts now. So we'll hit this little plus icon here. We'll then move over to where it says here, media categories, and then come to widgets and select alert box. Add source. We can leave it as alert box. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you, once you know how to set this up one time, you can go through and set up all the others that are here. So I'm going to show you how to set up the follow one that we have here, or even the subscription. Okay. So the first thing that you're going to see an image. We'll want to go ahead and clear link, and we want to select change media. It's going to give us the option to go ahead and upload. We'll come back to our folder and file that we got from Stream Designz. We'll look for alerts, and now we're simply going to look for the new follower. So we'll hit open there. We'll see here, and we were looking for is the new subscriber. So new subscriber, we'll click that there. It's going to go ahead and upload, and now we have our new subscriber. We'll simply select it and hit done. Now we have our animated alert in here, but we need to go ahead and get this dialed in. Because of the style of the alert, we want to select the layout to be at the center. And most of, pretty much, if not all of your Stream Designz alerts are going to require this kind of layout. Then for the sound, you can leave this on, but I simply like to go ahead and remove it. So in the sound volume, I just put it at 0. Okay. I also changed the message that comes up in the alert box because it can be smaller because some people have longer names. So I just put name just subbed. Okay. Then when we scroll down here to the animation, it says alert duration, 8 seconds. I like to leave it at 6 seconds. I think that's a long enough time for the screen to be up there. You can leave it at fade in, fade out. Text delay, I typically put this at 1 second. It's really going to be based on the animation of the alert, which are going to be different based on the package that you got. So again, if you see the text popping up faster than the alert, then you want to increase this a little bit. If you see the text taking too long to show up, then you want to decrease this. Okay. And that's how you know what you're looking for. And then text animation, you can have it. I just like to leave it at none. And then what I like to do is come here to font settings. We can leave it at open sans. Font size, you're going to be able to adjust this based on your liking. And you're going to see here that we're going to be able to preview this here in just a moment. Okay, and then you can change the actual color. So what I'm gonna do is that because it's kind of like red, I'm gonna pick a complementary color, like maybe like a yellow. This is the name of the person that you're gonna see. Okay, so we have that there. So to be able to test this, all we wanna do is hit play alert here, and we're gonna see it pop up. So we see that this text is a little bit too big. So I can go ahead and size this up and maybe bring this down maybe to 47, play it again. And then again, you just got to just kind of tweak this until you get it to your liking, because remember, some people's names are going to be a little bit longer than not. Okay. So, and if you have any issues with going through and getting the name to show up in the right place based on the alert that you got, simply just go ahead, and you may need to do it a little bit differently. So just simply reach out to Stream Designz and we can provide you a resource on what method you should utilize if you're not able to get it right in the center. Okay. So now once we have that in place, we'll hit play again. And now we have our alert. Okay. So now we can close this, and now we have this in place. Now, all we want to do is size this up and place this where we want it to show. Now, if it's gone, like, oh, it's gone, what I do, you can come here to the bottom where it says test widgets, and we'll select subscription because that's the one we set up. And you'll see here that now we have it in place, and I can place this exactly where I want this to be. Okay. So if I open up my camera again and we click here to test widget subscription, this is what it's going to look like for my viewers when they're watching. So now we have our alert box set up. So we'll have that there. I'm going to just disable the camera again. And again, all you want to do now is you want to go to donation and do the same thing. Remove the image and go through the steps. You want to come here, remove the image and follow the steps for the ones that you're going to go ahead and utilize based on what you want and the streaming platform that you're utilizing. Okay. But again, the process is exactly the same as I just showed you. So what do we do now? We go ahead and lock this. So our just chatting scene now is all good to go. So now we need to move into our gameplay, but it's going to be a lot easier now because we've done a lot of the heavy lifting already. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come to gameplay. We're going to hit this little source, there's a plus icon, and watch how fast we're able to create the gameplay scene now because we did it the way that we did it. We'll come here to media categories, video capture, add source, and what we're going to do is select our gameplay. We don't have to do new no more. We just select the same one we've used before. So there's our gameplay. This is going to be the main scene that we utilize. So we'll go ahead and lock this here. And now what are we going to do? We're going to hit this little plus icon. We're going to come to media category. We're going to go to video capture. We're going to add source. And what are we going to do? We're going to add in our camera. And again, this could be your phone or the camera. I've showed you both methods. We'll hit add source. And now I'm just going to bring my camera down just slightly because this is my gameplay scene. And again, you're going to know your game best. So you're going to know the best position for your camera that's not going to block anything on the screen. So I'm just going to put it here at the bottom. Okay. And we're going to leave that there for the time being. So we won't lock it just yet. And I'm going to tell you why, because we're going to add in our webcam overlay. Okay. So we're going to come hit this little plus icon here. We're going to go to media categories and we're going to select a media file. Add source. We are going to select a new source instead. And we're going to name this webcam overlay. Okay. We'll select add source, browse file, and we'll come back to our folder that we went ahead and got here. And what we're looking for is going to be webcam overlays. Now, you're going to have 3 different options of webcam overlays that you're going to be able to utilize. So you're going to have one that has the bottom overlay bar, and I'll just show you what these look like. So this is just the bottom bar. Okay, so that means if you just want to put this directly in front of your thing, you can do that. So you have options based on your personal preference. Then we have with the overlay bar, right? So this is the bottom bar that you can put a follower or alert there, and then you can have the border around. And then you have the one that just has the actual border, right? So again, this is the one that I'm going to utilize because we're going to utilize the overlay bar that's going to have our follower, but the preference is yours. So again, what am I going to select here? I am going to select the loop. And I am going to select close file when inactive, and then I'm going to hit close here. So what we need to do is I'm going to go ahead and keep this size. I'm going to show you a little trick here, so pay close attention. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to disable our gameplay. Okay, just going to come here and hide it for the time being. We're going to go ahead and keep and make sure that our webcam overlay is this full size of everything here. So we have that in place. Okay. We're going to lock our webcam overlay. Okay. So again, we disabled our gameplay. we made sure that our webcam was full, and then we made it sure. And if you can't get it to full, all you got to do is make sure it's unlocked, right click on it, hit transform, and select fit to screen. And that's going to give it full screen, and then we'll lock it. Now we take our camera and we adjust it. And remember, we just want to make our camera fit. So we'll grab our camera, put it above our webcam overlay for right now, just to make sure that we can fit this and place it exactly where we want. So we have that in place. Now we need to bring the camera under, make sure that everything is looking good. It's clean. Okay, it's all there. So now what we can do is that we can lock the camera as well. We'll come here to where it says add a group so you can move multiple sources at the same time. This is going to be super important. So we'll click this here and we'll name this Cam plus overlay and hit done. This is now going to create a little folder here. You're going to see how powerful this is. So what we'll simply do is that we'll grab the webcam overlay and you'll see it. You see the little dot? You make sure you put it in that folder and you put that in there. What this does now, okay, is that it means that when I click cam and overlay, look at what I'm going to be able to do. I'm going to be able to, and I want to come in here again, unlock this, right? And you're going to see here that I'm going to be able to size everything without losing it. So I don't need to worry about no more if I make my camera smaller or bigger that it's going to go ahead and get messed up. Okay, so now we have this in place. And again, you want to open up the folder. And you want to make sure that the camera is under the webcam overlay so that it looks professional. Then once we have that in place, we'll grab this. We'll bring our camera down. We'll open up our gameplay again. And again, we'll come here and place this exactly where we want and size this to the size that we want. Okay, then once we have this in place, and again, I could probably make this a little bit bigger. Once we have this in place, what do we always do? You come here and you lock the element and it locks everything in there. And now these two things are in place. Okay, and a quick little tip to be able to know is that on your camera, okay, now this is a back facing camera, but on your camera, what you want to make sure that you do is that you right click on it, you hit transform. And if your monitor's to your left, flip yourself so that way you always look towards the game. Okay, just a little hack, and it just makes it a little bit more immersive experience for your viewer. So right now I'm looking left, right? And if I were to transform myself to make it look like I'm looking at the game, then all I want to do is I want to hit flip horizontal. And that's now going to make it to where I'm aiming and looking at the actual game. Okay, little touches adds a little bit of professionalism to your set. Okay, so now that we have that in place, the next thing we're going to add is going to be our overlay bar. So we're going to come here. We're going to hit this little plus icon, media categories. We're going to select media file, add source. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add new source instead. We're going to name this overlay bar. We're going to hit add source here, browse. And then you're going to go back into your folder where you have here, and you're going to look here to where it says overlay screens, and you're going to select overlay bar. We'll hit open there. You're going to see it's going to give us a nice overlay bar at the top. We do want this to loop, and we do want it to be able to close. So now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and position this exactly where you're going to want it. And again, if you want to get micro touches, you can use your keyboard to go up and down to get it exactly where you want it to be. And again, you don't have to use the overlay bar. If you don't want to, you have the other option to use the one on the bottom webcam, or you don't have to use it at all. Okay, so this is where I'm going to place it. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this here. Now we're starting to look in a little bit more professional. So now we're going to have, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this little plus icon, and we're going to bring in our stream labels again. So we'll come to widgets, stream labels, add source, and here this is the work that we already did. We'll bring in the recent follower. So we'll add that in there. And again, you can make it the recent follower, or you can make it a new follower. Okay. And I'm just going to bring this down and place this exactly where it needs to be. Okay, once it's there, we're going to lock that. I'm going to come back and I'm going to go to widgets, stream labels, add source, and then I'm going to select recent sub. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing, and that's going to bring it here for me. And then I'm just going to simply go ahead and size it and place it exactly where I want it to be. And again, you can decide on the sizing and get this perfect to how you like. But again, I'm showing you how this is working. Then we'll lock that once that's in place. We'll come back up top, widgets, stream labels, add source, and we'll select recent cheer. We'll add that in there. We'll size this down again. We'll bring this over, and now you see that we have there. But now we have an extra slot here, which is like a stream goal. So you have an option to be able to add a goal if you want to. So there's two different ways to be able to do this. The first way is to hit this little plus icon here, okay? Come to media categories, and what we're gonna look for here is text. You can click on text, hit add source, and then we can name this goal. Hit add source here, and now you can go ahead and say follower goal, and you can do 1 out of 100 because that's where you're trying to reach. Outline, drop shadow, bring that in there, and now you have this follower goal that you can add in there, and this is something that you will have to manually go ahead and update. Okay, this is option number 1. If you wanted to match the same text style you have here with it, if that's something that you like, this is the recommendation here. Otherwise, if you want to use the one built in directly, you're gonna have a little bit less flexibility on the customization, but we'll come here to plus. We'll click, so again, we'll click on plus source. We'll click on widget. And what you're going to do is you're going to come to a section that says goals, and you have different options. You want a tip goal, you want a bit goal, you want a follower goal, you want a subscription goal, and this is going to go ahead and update for you. Okay, so we'll select follower goal, we'll add source, we'll leave it as follower goal, and you're going to see here what this is going to look like, right? So again, you're going to see here that this is going to look a little bit different up there than the method that I showed you, right? And you don't have a lot of options to be able to change too much. You can go condensed, right? Which if you hit done there, it's going to give you just the bar, which is an option. But this is how you would add in a goal. Again, I'm okay with me. I want more consistency across the board. So I'm going to go ahead and most likely end up using the text, but I wanted to show you the options you have because this one updates for you. The other one is more manual, right? And if you ever wanted to update the other one that we went ahead and set up, when you set up a text, super simple. All you need to do is click on it, click on this little gear icon, and you can always update it and change the text, right? And do follower goal, 1 out of 100, hit done, it's there. And for me, this just looks a little bit cleaner and more professional because it looks consistent across. And then I kind of update that at the end of the night, but the choice is yours. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and lock this here. Now we want to bring in our alerts. So to bring in our alerts, we'll hit this little plus icon. We'll come to widgets. We'll click on alert box, add source, and then we'll simply just add in the alert box, right? But we want to move the placement. So we'll come here to where it says test widgets. We'll hit subscription. You'll see the widget there, right? That's a little bit too big. So we'll bring that there and we'll put it right here. And again, you're going to know the UI of your game and what's getting blocked and what's not. So for me, I know that's going to be a safe spot. So I'll test it again. And we see here that there is our alert that is now showing up. So if for your gameplay scene, you're the type of person that wants to bring in your chat, so that way people can see your chat on screen, then you simply can hit this little plus icon, come to widgets, hit chat box, hit add source. We already built it. And now you can go ahead and see your chat box is here and you can place it exactly where you want, resize it, change it the same way we did it before. And now we have that in place. Okay. So now we have here our starting soon. We have our countdown timer. We then have our gameplay scene. Okay. We then have our just chatting scene. Okay. And then again, I have the camera disabled here. We have our be right back screen coming in now. And then we have our stream ending scene in here that we need. Now, the only thing that's needed to left to done once you have this freshly set up is to go ahead and hit go live and go live to the destination that you want. But, okay, you want to make sure that your stream looks good once you hit go live. And the only way that you make sure that all the hard work you've already done actually looks good for your viewers is by making sure that you have the right settings for streaming or recording on Streamlabs based on whether you're on Windows or Mac. So if you stream using a Mac, go ahead and watch this video right here. And if you stream on a Windows, watch this video right here where I share the best Streamlabs settings so that way your stream looks professional once you press that go live button. I'll see you in the next video.